right, hello, Mr. Taylor and Plastodon. Let's check on Facebook. All right, so we are live on Twitch, Kick, YouTube now. Let's check Facebook. All right, that's going. Manage video. And there we go. All right. Okay. Few things planned already. Gonna try and have things planned more often. So yes, the first piece of one of the first things of today's agenda, if you didn't see the description, basically posted a clip from a stream I did, like, I don't know, well, it was over a year ago, since I was still in Wyoming, and it was going on about how important it is to slowly increase your speed in order to help ensure accuracy. And of course, you know, the clip is less than a minute long. It has to be in order for it to be a YouTube short. And somebody decided to tell me that Martin Miller disagrees with me. My response was, he doesn't even know I exist. But I thought, hey, let's get some more variety in what we watch on these live streams. Let's see what Martin Miller does have to say about getting faster, because I don't know. I really don't know. So I did find something on his channel. He doesn't have a lot on there, it seems like, when it comes to this subject. But he does have a video titled How to Play Faster, a Method That Actually Works, Guitar Lesson. So it looks like he's in a lesson while doing this. So hopefully the student involved here is not going to mind this response and reaction thing. So, and then after that, we're gonna check out something from Vinnie Moore. Looks like the song is Life Force. And we're gonna talk about the opening riff from our dear own Mr. Plastodon. And we'll, I guess, talk about strategies on how to tackle this thing, ways to break it down and all that stuff. And, of course, any Q&A things happening. So, while we wait for things to increase, you know, people joining and all that fun stuff, I want to start with a quick practice session because, well, I need to get better at my frickin' sweep picking, goddammit, because, well, I'm teaching a student this stuff, and I really want to get better at it, not only for myself, but so I can teach it well. Hello, Dominic. How you doing? Would you be the same Dominic Hamill I've actually worked with? Your name is so familiar. Very, very familiar. But I can't put a face to the name, so I apologize. I have worked with a lot of people. It's hard to remember everybody. So yeah, I'm going to start with a little bit of a practice thing before tackling the Martin Miller stuff and then the Vinnie Moore. See if we can get some questions and all that stuff. How am I? I am doing my best to try and figure out how to do this living thing while being tired the whole time. But things are getting better. Slowly getting better. Alright, I'm trying to look for something to turn off. There we go. Okay. So yeah. Let's start off with a little bit of practice for the old sweep picking. And we're doing the very short speed approach, and that's that. I'm going to be trying to be very efficient with this. Actually, no, let me go back to this. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Boom. Alright. So, one issue I noticed, all the, so long. That was quick. Let's see. One of the issues I found with that sweep pick and shape, I was doing it on that 7 string. It definitely feels different going to the 6 string, and because this is my main instrument, I do need to be better at it on this thing. So I'm going to just quickly run through that and make sure I can do this okay. So here we go. Turn the metronome down just a little bit. There. Damn it. I'm close to my minimum 180 I'd like to be at. Give it a try in a second there. What an interesting exchange. An interesting exchange with old Dominic Hamill. I swear I had a student with that name a long time ago. Years ago. There's like 2 people I can think of that might be them. But I don't know. All right, let's try this again. There. Come on, minimum 180. Let's do it. That's pretty good. Perfect. There we go. That's it. Done. All right. There. So, feel better about that. All right. We are about 10 minutes into this stream. I think it's time. To get going here. According to YouTube, there are 5 viewers on. Hello, all 5. All right. Let's turn the metronome off. Let's get this ready. Where is my display capture? So here's your middle. There it is. Okay. And we're going like this. Yes. And that's the video we want. All right, I'm just jumping ahead real quick so I can check the volume.
Is the first note on every string. Yeah. I'll make it. Let me use a different pick so it sounds a bit clearer. This one sounds a bit muddy. Hear it better. Here. Up, down.
I guess loud enough. Hope so. That's as loud as the video gets. All right, so to the beginning. You have watched this video. Ooh, you already know what's coming up. Not me. All right. That looks good to go there. Okay. It's time for the thing. Time to read. All right. These live reaction videos are never done with the intent to tear anyone down, even though I'm sure many people still think I'm being a jerk. In these types of videos, we see if we agree, disagree, and what I can add to the conversation to further help people get better at guitar. Is this coattail riding and clout chasing? Absolutely. If doing this helps me reach more people and grow the channel, damn it, I'm going to do it. So, this is going to be the first time I'm watching this video. And this video is by Martin Miller, far more successful musician than I am. He's got 135,000 subscribers on YouTube. This video has 307,000 views, put out 6 years ago, and is titled, How to Play Faster, a Method That Actually Works. Guitar lesson. So yes, somebody responded to a clip I released not too long ago, talking about the importance of working things up slowly to ensure accuracy, and they said Martin Miller disagrees. So let's see. How much do Martin Miller and I agree? I'm pretty sure he and I agree on a lot more than that commenter might realize. But who knows? Maybe not. Let's find out. Time to watch it. Here we go.
Obviously, I mean, I will get faster in time, but what I mainly focus on is accuracy, because, you know, you see so many people saying that if you practice on accuracy, speed will come.
No, untrue.
Yeah, I've always felt that that's like a...
That is completely false. Categorically false.
Okay, I think I can already tell why this person said Martin Miller disagreed with me. So I'll tell you now, anyone watching. Joe, over on Twitch. Hello, sir. Good to have you on again. So the student said, if I understood correctly, the idea that focusing on accuracy will allow speed to come. And if you only focus on accuracy, just playing accurate at a slow speed, no, you will not get any faster. Yes, you have to push the speed. So my whole thing in that clip was, when you try and go faster, you still want to focus on being accurate. Because if you are playing at a fast speed, or trying to play at a fast speed, you cannot handle and you're just being sloppy, well, you're not getting any faster. You are just being freaking sloppy. And over on Kick, we got a new comment. Ram it down. I do not know what the heck that means. What does that mean? Ram what down? The speed? The accuracy? Anyway, so I'm making a guess here. He's probably going to say some similar things that I have said many times. If you want to be fast, you do have to push yourself and try and play faster. What I tell students now is speed is a byproduct of playing accurately at faster and faster tempos. So you have to keep trying to play faster than you currently can. So, there you go. Judas Priest. Was that a song request? I don't know that song. I know very little Judas Priest. I know. I'm a terrible person. Alright, let's see if I'm correct. Let's see if Mr. Miller and I actually do agree. I bet we do. On a lot of things. Here we go.
Because by that definition, learning to walk is going to make you a faster sprinter, or learning to jog is going to make you a faster sprinter. It's not.
I've said that many times, stuff like that.
Objectively, there's a difference in the neurological process when you play fast than when you play slow.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, it doesn't make sense for me. So like, when you were, I mean, today you have pretty good speed, but I imagine not always you had that speed. So what did you practice with exercises, or did you just learn songs that demanded more speed?
Both. It kind of grew with the music. The cross-picking thing came about by practicing Steve Morse stuff, and I basically boiled that down to little exercises, and I always played faster than I was advised to play. You know how right now I told you how to practice slow? Yes. To figure out the technique. To get faster? No. I wanted to get faster, so I really played fast a lot, and my teachers were telling me, no, don't do it, play slow, blah, blah. Gradually increase your speed. That kind of stuff you hear. It's not true. Because
depends on how you gradually increase the speed. Because I gradually increase my speed, and I've had plenty of students do the same, and yes, it does work. That's why it's told over and over and over again. People wouldn't keep saying it if it didn't work. When it doesn't work, it's usually because people are doing it wrong. And that does sound funny. He was advised not to play fast. I'd like to hear more about that. Well, let's see. I wonder if it's one of those things where you're supposed to increase your speed a little bit each day. If that's the case, yeah, that doesn't work. You don't increase your speed the following day. You need to increase it several times in the same session. And as I said to another guy, I think on that same video, it's like the practice sessions that I do and I have my students do, they're intense. Like, that's one reason why they're supposed to be so short, because you're going to get your butt whooped doing it the way I advise people to do. It's short and it's intense, and you're pushing your speed a lot in the practice session, but you first start off slow and gradually go faster. And Plastodon says on YouTube, I'm sure it's the way you're told to do or if it's interpreted incorrectly. And then Joe, walking doesn't make you a faster jogger or a sprinter, but you can't jog or sprint if you can't walk. Well, I suppose that's true. Wouldn't that be weird? If like, I can only sprint, I don't know how I can't walk. Alright, continuing.
Because it's you can investigate. It's called an open loop versus a closed loop. It's a neurological process. Did we cover this before, by the way?
I don't think so.
I feel we did. Okay, no, we didn't. Okay, to keep it short, when you play a note, brain sends out. This is layman's terms, by the way. I'm not an expert on this. This is how I explain it to myself. So
Yeah.
you strike a note, brain sends signal to the muscles, execute note, muscles send signal back to the brain to give it feedback.
Okay.
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, and that works just fine. That means within a lick, you go, oh yeah, this felt good, this didn't feel so good. Oh yeah, I gotta make a tiny adjustment to jump to that next note. It's all fine. At a certain speed, you cannot do that anymore. Why? Because this loop of motion and feedback takes a couple of milliseconds to go around. And it's at a certain point, two notes executed after another are quicker than that loop. And therefore, the brain has to send out a chunk of motion at the same time. Yeah?
Yeah.
And within that chunk, you cannot change things anymore. As soon as that chunk is sent out, your fate is sealed. There's nothing else you can do about it. So in order for you to become faster, you need to get into the closed loop. You need to practice within the closed loop. Do you know this sensation that if you play slow, if you play this stupid 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise, if you play it slow, how you can focus on every note, but when you play fast, the only thing I notice is the first note on every string.
Yeah.
I'll make it.
Interesting. The only thing he notices is the first note on every string. I'll tell you, when I'm doing my sweep picking stuff, like I was practicing there, I'm trying my damnedest to make sure I recognize every single note is there. So I'm making sure I can hear all four of those notes. So, you got to get to a point where you can't really think, or you're not really thinking about what's happening. It just kind of comes out. But I'm not only thinking about the first note of each string, because if that was the case, I could just be doing this. Or I could be doing this. Or this. Instead of. So he has to be thinking about more than just that one note. I don't know if he worded what he meant, if that's exactly what he meant, because he's obviously advanced enough to know if he's not playing those four notes. So to me, he's thinking about more than just the one note at each string. So, question that? Uh-oh. Is this where I'm going to get people mad at me and telling me I'm full of shit? Possibly.
Let me use a different pick so it sounds a bit clearer. This one sounds a bit muddy. Hear it better? Here. Up, down, 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 up. I can have control over everything. Here, I only have control of the first note.
I don't believe that. I don't believe he only has control over the first note. Listen to how clean he's playing it. Listen to how well he's doing it. I believe that he does have control over every single note that he's doing. I know he says that he doesn't have control over all of it, but I believe he does. Because he's playing it well. I think he does. But that's my interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how should I, like, look, I imagine if I were to brain this out, I would, like, practice the group enough until I got it, and then do.
Yeah. As soon as your fundamental technique is good, you push it.
Okay.
And then you don't worry about cleanliness.
All right, I guess Steve Miller and I don't agree. He said you push it and don't worry about cleanliness? All right, that guy's correct. Steve Miller disagrees with me. I think that's a terrible thing. Okay, well, let's see what he says.
Yeah, this sounds counterintuitive, but then you just screw how good it sounds and how clean it is. You have to go faster than you can, and then the chunks will form, and then the cleanliness that you attained on the slower speeds is gonna apply to that.
Okay.
No. Maybe for some people, maybe it worked that way for him, but that does not work with my students. I think it doesn't work for most people. You are not going to magically play things clean and precise if you don't care about cleanliness and you just slop all over the place. You won't. You won't. It doesn't. No. I completely disagree. Completely disagree. That's not how it works.
Okay. So so I should practice slowly, as clean as I can, and then just push it and essentially hope for the best.
Yeah, as soon as your fundamental technique is good.
Okay.
As soon as you feel I'm doing the right thing. Because you need to do the same right thing at the high tempos.
Exactly, yeah.
But you just need to do it faster. And you need to trip over yourself a little bit to get it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, obviously it's not gonna just work. It's probably gonna fail, but.
And if you're too clean, you're not pushing yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the only way to know that you're going faster than you can is if you fail.
I can just try to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
This is what.
Well, I'll say this. Saying, like, if you don't trip over yourself, you're not pushing yourself fast enough. Fair enough on that one. But the way I have my students and myself do this whole metronome thing of working it up slowly is you still want to be accurate as you go from one speed to the next. You don't go up to a faster speed unless what you played was good enough to be on your album. Like, you want to be proud of what you played before you go to increase the speed. And like the practice thing that I did at the start of this stream, I was making plenty of mistakes at those faster tempos. So I was tripping over myself, but I kept trying to get it correct until I finally did get it correct. And then when I did, I went up a little bit more until I finally hit my minimum arbitrary goal of 180 with the 16th notes. Placidon says, I always felt like the student wasn't sure if this info was accurate. Haha. Well, apparently accuracy doesn't matter. Yes, you have to push yourself, and you're going to make mistakes at really fast speeds, but you still want to get it accurate if you want to play fast and correct. So anyway, yes, you do need to push yourself to a point where you start messing up, but then you don't keep going faster than that. You stay at that tempo and get it right before you go again. So, yeah.
with a clean tone, so it's kind of rough. Let's go 190 maybe. Right, that's it. Way too comfortable. It's not pushing anything. So I need to find my boundaries here, and then step beyond them. By the way, these picks, they're amazing, but they last like half a bar.
They last half a bar.
The old text.
The sharp ones, yeah.
Would you mind showing me them in comparison to a jazz 3?
Yeah, way different. I used to play jazz 3s my entire life, and I just switched to these for a couple of things. This is way bigger and way thinner. So 200. It's not a challenge. I need to go beyond that. This is very personal, by the way. If you reach your peak earlier than that, let's just do 210. Yeah, this probably is something I've spent a bit of time with. Yeah. And 220, and that's getting just terrible. Now I feel, this is kind of pushing it. I'm getting a bit of strain here. So, it didn't fall apart or anything, but this is kind of where I would spend some time, and I'm also doing those little breaks in between, so I have time to rest my hands. Because if you tense up, then your different muscles will engage to compensate. And that's basically training false technique.
Oh, so yeah, that makes sense. Because
that doesn't make sense. If different muscles engage in order to play it, make yourself go faster, it's practicing false technique. Oh, we do disagree. It's fine. This is one of those like, oh, don't ever let your elbow do anything. It's fine to let your elbow do stuff. If you want to play inhumanly fast, faster than you are currently capable of, let your hand, your arm, your wrist, whatever, let your body do what it needs to in order to hit those higher speeds you're trying to make. As long as it sounds good, then you're fine. It's the most important thing. Shut up! There was a sneeze outside. I don't know if anyone else could hear that. Perhaps you may be wondering, why did he just yell shut up? Well, like I said at the beginning of this video, some people might think I'm a jerk, so there you go. Jerk status achieved. The hell was I saying? Oh, yes. So he was talking about if you tense up, other muscles might engage, which is practicing false technique. I would like more of an explanation on that one. Potato bashing, you knew! There we go. Yeah, there's plenty of people have told me, like, oh, I thought you weren't supposed to use your arm or use your elbow and anything like that. Like, it's fine. I do it all the time. If the notes sound the way that you want them to, you're good. Also, if you're not feeling any weird, strange pains in the joints, we don't want to mess with joint pain. So, yeah, it's fine. Use your arm. Use what you need to. If you could pick that fast and make things sound as good as you want with your face, you're going to let somebody tell you, oh, you can't do that. You're using the wrong technique. Yeah, but it sounds good to me. Oh, well, whatever. Whatever. You do what you need to make the notes happen. You're fine.
I used to practice a lot of that jump true chi, that like
It's what I just did, yeah. The same thing.
And like after a while, I remember I got to 160 at some point, and it just halted. You know, I just couldn't do it anymore, and you know that was my limit. Like I wouldn't be able to improvise at that speed. And
that's the point. Yeah.
and I wasn't getting cleaner. So then I just, I kind of stopped. Went to do something else because I didn't know what to. Like when you get there,
Yeah, you need to go beyond the 160 and play very short bits.
Oh, okay. Like get to my.
That's a good point. That's a good thing to do. Something I have students do. Something to do with the whole break it down to build it up thing. Yeah, small little pieces. So the bursts, chunks, whatever you want to call it. Small little chunks for sure. Fantastic thing to do to push your speed and build it faster and faster and faster. Absolutely. Tiny little pieces. I do agree with that part.
Can you just do it for me, please? Can you play that exercise right there? We'll find the speed that works for you.
Cool, yeah. I don't...
I can't think of anything clever to reply to, but I've been called a chunk. Maybe I need to put that in the disclaimer. I am a jerk and a chunk. A chunk of jerk. Chunky jerk?
I don't think I'll be able to play it at that speed anymore because.
Don't worry, it's absolutely. This is absolutely personal, and dude, you're 18, so you're gonna practice this, and in 6 months, I'm telling you, you'll if you do that, like I described it, you'll probably put at least 30-40 BPMs on top of that.
Thanks. I hope so. So do it like with pauses and.
Yeah, do me a favor. Do one note first. Do. Let's see where that maximum is for now.
So I'll put like 135, just for good measure.
Yeah, it's too slow. You can tell that right away.
Just cool. 150.
Yeah, we need to approach closed loop here.
Cool. So.
Yeah, show me your top. Yeah. Yeah, shorter bits. Just do da 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 da. Yeah, fine. Go higher.
I can go higher. I think let's see, 160. Let's see. Yeah, I think this would be close to my limit. I think I could.
No, your limit is way higher than that. Trust me. You just don't know.
I agree. He's not trying. He's not pushing himself.
74.
Yeah, he's definitely not pushing himself. I agree there. He's not pushing himself. Not even close. Because I see no straining. He's not close. Anyway.
The other thing is also, I don't know if it's because my guitar has a Floyd on it.
Play, boy!
I just maybe outgrew it, but my position, like, I think my arm could be.
Yeah, I do the same. That is something I have to remind myself a lot of. Yeah.
And I don't like if I do it over the Floyd, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be out of tune. So I don't know.
For some reason, I never had that issue. Some people said they did. I never had that issue. My hand is rested somewhere here, not on the Floyd.
Is that Samus?
Yeah, maybe.
Joe? On Twitch?
And also, I don't apply a lot of pressure. I just let the hand sit on there, basically.
Yeah. So, let's see, 174. Let me just.
Yeah, we found it.
I mean, it's not hard, but it's like I'm not keeping time, so I guess that's probably.
Yeah, this is where you're pushing it, and that's where you need to be. That's the place you need to live in for a little bit.
All right, let me listen to that again.
That's that.
So I guess that's. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah, we found it.
I mean,
there was only one take of that was not 100%. Most of that is fine. That's still not pushing it.
It's not hard, but it's like I'm not keeping time, so I guess that's.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. He is keeping time. That was fine. Most of those were fine. Perfectly fine.
probably.
Yeah, this is where you're pushing it, and that's where you need to be. That's the place you need to live in for a little bit. You can probably go faster. Try 190. I think we can get a couple 16ths at 190. And this is excluding the left hand and strings crossing. The string crossing is where it gets tough.
Yeah.
But we just erase that for now. We just want to find your speed. Do it. You can do it. You just gotta trust yourself.
Sorry?
You can do it. You can.
I was trying to listen. Because now I'm curious. Like, I sounded like some of the notes weren't quite there. Dang it, Martin Miller. Let me listen to the boy. Shh. Oh, hell yeah. All right. Joe on Twitch. It was Samus. And now we got a Metroid. And now I'm scared.
You just have to trust yourself.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's learning to do the motion while not tensing up.
You know why it sounded when you said when you had like the big eyes when I did it. The only reason that was I wasn't playing faster than you. I was just applying my left hand to it in a very synchronized manner, and you could hear the notes very clearly. But the sheer speed, I bet you're as fast as me picking a single note. I'm not faster than anybody else. I just figured out how to get across the strings. And I figured out how to match my left hand along with right hand.
Wow, cool. Mm-hmm. So, let's say I do this for a while, like you know, and then, like,
yeah.
Like
you know what the left hand is really doing? Do this.
this?
No, this after another. Like if you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So.
You see, you can do it. There's the potential. There's the potential to play that fast. It's faster than you play. It's there.
So, yeah, that's. Joe's got lots of the Metroid. I haven't played that in a while. I haven't played that many Metroids either. See, this is one of those things people talk about, like, you can do certain motions, so therefore you should be able to do it on guitar. I have had plenty of students, after teaching one-on-one lessons for well over a decade now, as soon as the hand touches the strings, as soon as that pick touches the strings, the speed just, it's dead, it's gone. Like, there's this, I don't know if you want to call it a psychological barrier, but there's a lot more to it than just being able to do this. Just because you can do that doesn't mean you will absolutely translate that to playing that fast, because being able to sync all those things up at the same time, that's another story. And feeling the pick hit the string and all that stuff. Red light syndrome, I'm unfamiliar with that. Could you enlighten us with what red light syndrome is? But yeah, because you can teach someone how to like kind of do a quick little twitch on the string there, or maybe just drum their fingers really quick. But to apply that to actually, that sort of thing. It's a very different story. And using the old metronome can help. It can help, so long as it is within your genetic potential and capability of pulling it off. Oh. So just like, basically recording, yeah. Just like one of the recent short clip I did put out, playing this thing, some variation of this little Aeolian lick over and over and over again. And then as soon as I go to record it, I was like, nope. Now, yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
pretty much anybody can do it if they just figured it out properly.
So I get bass like, and then start increasing the amount of notes I play. Would that be correct? Like,
yeah, don't worry about it for now. Just increase the speed.
Okay. Cool.
And if you feel comfortable, then you play that twice.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just increase the number of notes, but not.
You can do that, but the prime goal should be to stay relaxed at a high speed.
Okay. And then.
And I feel the prime goal is to make the note sound good at the high speed. I have such an issue with this. Everyone saying stay relaxed, stay relaxed, stay relaxed. You cannot sprint relaxed. It's okay to have a little bit of oomph when you're trying to play as fast as you can. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Your arms are not going to fall off. Your shoulders aren't going to explode. It's okay to give it a little oomph. Grit your teeth a little bit. Go for it. Be aggressive. Didn't, God, what the hell's that one teacher? Is it Ben Eller? No, not Ben Eller. I only watched one video from him. I can't remember. But he was saying the exact same thing. It's like you can't be all like all nandy-pandy about it. Like, oh, I don't want to be not relaxed and be all tense. He's like, no, you just gotta freaking go for it. Just getting mean. Like, yeah.
To turn that into phrasing, what would be the next?
Don't worry, it's gonna happen. If you work.
It's just gonna happen.
Work on your music. You don't need to worry about that. This is we're just practicing technique. We're looking at one thing in isolation. That's all. Don't worry too much. Just do it. Just get faster. And then you will obtain a certain amount of muscle memory that applies to anything you do.
I'm sorry, but like the guy's obviously looking for some kind of guidance, like a roadmap. Like, okay, once I do this, what's the next step to take? There's so many steps you can take with this stuff, and practicing for speed and learning melodic phrases or whatnot is a totally valid thing to do. Most people are not going to be able to just do a little da-da-da-da-da-da-da and then apply it to all over the place. Most people are not going to do it. It's very, very rare. So, give the man a plan. That's at least anyway, no, I'm gonna refrain on that one. Anyway, we're almost done here.
Nice. Thanks.
It's like a lot of people, when I show them how to play chord tones over changes, they worry way too much. How does this apply to music? It doesn't. It's an exercise that shows you where stuff is.
Well, that is applying to music. If you're playing chord tones over the chords, that's the music. Right? That is the music. Oh, well, maybe whatever. What do I know? Like when students are, working on theory and whatnot, and they're asking like, well, I was asked like, well, how does this apply to music? I would say like, well, this is the music. It's the music. I'm assuming the nothing means when I ask what do I know, the answer is nothing. Go drink more of your vodka. Go drink more of yourself, your fermented self. Fermentation and spite. Because when it comes to like the theory, the modes, learning the intervals for the chords coming together and all that stuff. Like, how does it apply to music and things you do? It's like for me, it's like the more you learn about that stuff, the more tones and like we'll say musical colors you learn. The more you recognize stuff in what you're listening to, trying to learn, you can apply it to stuff that you write. Anyway, yeah, let's keep going here. We got like less than 1 minute in the video.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And then... Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about phrasing. That'll come. You already have phrasing. You just don't know how. You didn't know you could move your hands so fast. Now you just need to consolidate that a little bit. You'll get so much faster in no time if you do this. Find a couple of exercises that lend themselves to playing fast, and then just push.
Why won't he give him some exercises that would be appropriate for him?
Oh yeah, and then I mean, if I were to do like instead of like
Yeah.
like
That's what I mean. Different exercises, different combinations of string crossing and fingers and blah blah blah, and all kinds of combinations. Anything you can get your hands on. But it's really more how you practice than what you practice.
obviously.
Well, yeah, how you practice is extremely important. What you practice is important too. So if you practice something you absolutely hate and it doesn't pertain to the music that you want to create, it's still fine. Well, that guy who commented saying Mark Miller disagrees with me. Yep, you are correct. He still doesn't know I exist. But yeah, we agree on a little bit. Like, it's important to push yourself. You do have to do that. If you want to be fast, you got to push yourself to go faster than you are currently comfortable with. Like the whole don't worry about what to play and it's just going to happen. I'm assuming they have already worked on a lot of musical ideas and phrasing and whatnot based on one of the comments he said to this student. Because he said, you already know phrasing. I was like, oh, well, perhaps just Mr. Miller knows. Well, obviously he would know more about that student than I do or any of us. But yeah, it's totally fine and a good idea to have various exercises that will start off really easy and then gradually get more and more and more and more difficult. I do have a speed picking course out there that basically does that. It's all mainly just about picking. The fretting hand doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. It does enough so it's not just a single note the whole time, but the idea is it just gradually gets more and more challenging as you progress through the material. And I do have ideas for other stuff that I want to put together, but, you know, the energy that it takes to do so, I need more of it. So, yeah, all right. Well, there's that. Any questions? Any questions from anybody? Yeah, now that's a video I will definitely be editing down to one to release into the world, and I'm going to be stirring up some crap on that one. No, I'm sure I'm going to get plenty of people pissed off at me. Oh well, I don't agree with it, and I think it could be done a lot different. I think that student could absolutely benefit from having more guidance on pushing the speed beyond First time chat over on Twitch. Okay, here's a question. Would you like to play my silly song on SoundCloud? I don't know. I'm going to get canceled already. Well, did I say any triggering words, though? Well, does your silly song have anything to do with... Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel strange people ask me to play the song. Is your personal song? Do you want me to just play it? Do you want me to say how I feel about it? Are you sure you want me to do such a thing? I just feel very cautious when somebody asks me to listen to their own material because I don't want to be a jerk and put anyone down. Don't do it. Well... Alright, well, let's take a vote. Plastodon votes against putting the song on. What does anyone else have to say? Tell you what, if you're still around after this next video thing we're going to check out, then I'll put on the song. But you got to stick around. Alright. So the next thing we're going to do is not really a response thing. We are going to be... We're going to be examining this opening riff here. So just the very beginning there, that's so weird how that's like, feels like the dynamic shifts when he does that. Like it goes from triplets to a 16th note pattern. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't even play it like that because I don't like that stretch. I'm going to play it like this. Why does that seem wrong? Okay, that's why, because it's going... No. What am I doing wrong here? So yeah, I'd play it like that instead. Alright, so Plastodon says, the person who asked for this, says, so I can play most of the solos, but this part I can only play up to speed with a strumming motion. Some of the strings ring out. What am I doing wrong? I was born... Oh, Jesus Christ. Shut up! This tab is the way Vinny actually plays it. Well... Yeah, I would just play it different than Vinny does. I mean, and I just don't like that. But, you know, everyone's different, right? See you later, Joe. Good to have you on. But yeah, like, so everyone, yeah. She did throw a curveball. Fucking bitch. So yeah, that's probably just how it feels like good to his hand, you know? But I don't like that at all. I like this. So I'm going to do it like that. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Whichever way works for you. right. It seems to be like the general idea, right? Okay, so I guess, and all right, let's see. You said can only play this up to speed with a strong emotion. So have you done much of anything to break it down? Because like one thing, so let's say you definitely set on playing it just like him. Something like that would be a great thing to do. Ugh. So stuff like that would be good. It's basically kind of like break it down those little pieces. So like the dun 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 dun. And so this is at 152. Well, could all right. Just so I'm fully on board, just so I'm fully on the same page as what's going on, or what you're asking about here. If I remember correctly, you said you had a question about what to do here. I can't remember. Or did you just want to see what I would do while playing it? Now we gotta wait for the response, and wait for the delay that happens while streaming live and waiting for things to be typed. Oh, see how I'm picking it? Gotcha. Well, I mean, it's just, I'm alternate picking the whole thing. It looks like that guy was doing some economy picking stuff, but yeah, I'll alternate pick the whole thing. God damn it. Let's try and get closer. Oh, I'm running cables over. What's the next part? when you're doing the old metronome there, have you what's been your process? What do you start at? Are you doing just one? Okay, you did say you're doing the chunks, so that's good. The little pieces. What do you start at? How fast do you go up? Maybe we can try a little bit different approach. Have you tried Martin Miller's idea of don't think about it, don't worry, just do it. Don't think about it, it'll just happen. And I assume you're always doing triplets. Just want to make sure you heard that last question. Are you always practicing doing triplets, 3 notes a click? Well, my basic rule of thumb is if you cannot get something, so a triplet thing, up to at least 160 in your first practice session, starting at 60 beats per minute, not 90, but 60, if you can't get it in the first session, then you're not ready for triplets. You need to do eighth notes instead, and do it as eighth notes, and yes, start at 60, and work that up to at least 240 or beyond, but at least 240 before you go back into the triplets. Because notes per second, 240 beats per minute with eighth notes, same notes per second as triplets with 160. So, I strongly believe you will be better off, you'll benefit from it by going up slower. Because if you're trying not to have the strumming motion kick in and have more control over the tinier movements, going up slower is going to help. Really, really going to help. So that is what I would do. Start at 60, go up slower. Do it as eighth notes instead, not triplets. So like just play that one phrase, like that first phrase, into that first note. So yeah, I'm forgetting the damn thing. Oh, so it starts with the 3. Got it. Yeah, work that up as eighth notes. You'll definitely benefit from it. Just gotta remember that's 3 at the beginning, not 2. So yeah, I feel like you're just starting off too high and working at the subdivision you're not ready for. At least for this lick, for this riff. Alright, well I said I'd do it. Wait, what? Alright, well with a comment like that, I'm assuming you're just a troll, so never mind. Never mind. Well, let's see. So I get to remove the Martin Miller one. So we got a little less than an hour here. Alright, let's finish with this. I don't know if I've seen something much from Guitar Zoom. This one is titled The #1 Practice Routine to Rapidly Improve Your Guitar Playing. It's the #1 practice routine. The #1. Plastidon, this is what you need to do.
Alright, what I'm going to do is try and...
Ooh. Okay. Disclaimer time. Oh, I done moved the wrong thing. Alright, time for another live reaction. These live reaction videos are never done with the intent to tear anyone down, even though I'm sure many people still think I'm being a jerk. In these types of videos, we see if we agree, disagree, and what I can add to the conversation to further help people get better at guitar. Is this coattail riding and clout chasing? Absolutely. If doing this helps me reach more people and grow the channel, damn it, I'm gonna do it. Alright. What is the video? The video is, and this is the first time watching this, the video is titled #1 Practice Routine to Rapidly Improve Your Guitar Playing. Looks like Plastidon already knows this guy, Steve Stein. I don't know him. We're going to find out what the #1 practice routine is. And of course, when I hear stuff like this, I see #1, this, the best, the ultimate, things like that, like, I'm automatically skeptical. Immediately skeptical. But let's find out. Perhaps we agree on some stuff. Here we go.
And help you get organized a little bit by understanding what I consider 4 essential elements to practice on a daily basis. Now, if daily doesn't work for you, you may have to do them every couple of days. I know the hard part about learning how to play guitar is that often we're up against time. How much time do we have? You know, we have 85,000 things we want to learn how to do, but we have 30 minutes to do it, or we have an hour to do it, or whatever it might be. So the trick here is trying to figure out what do you need most out of these various 4 categories. And they often will work together, okay? So what you do in one category actually benefits another category anyway, and that sort of thing. But just something to think about a little bit to try and better organize the way you think about grabbing the guitar each day and playing. Now, there's nothing wrong with what we refer to as noodling, which is just sitting around and, you know, exploring the fretboard and just screwing around and you know, doing whatever you like to do. There's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't necessarily add up to large productivity in the bigger picture. I'm not saying that it can't help. Of course it can. And we should spend time just exploring the fretboard and exploring the instrument. There's no doubt about it. But if that's all we're doing, then we're not really setting our sights on anything in particular that we're trying to get better at. You know, one of the most important things you can do is try and figure out where your faults are and then how to remedy those faults as best you can, right?
So far, I agree with everything. So far, so good. I'm glad he said there's nothing wrong with noodling. I know some people talk like, oh, you should need to stop doing that. It's not good. Like, you're having fun. There's nothing wrong with doing that. If you're having fun, do it.
So let's look at the first category here is going to be content. Content. And what I generally mean by content is there are things, right? The one I want you to think about the most are learning how to play songs. Okay? For some reason, there's a bit of a disconnect here. When I was a kid, I'm almost 50 years old. When I was a kid, everybody learned songs. That's how you learned how to play. Like your buddy down the street learned how to play Motley Crue tunes or Led Zeppelin songs or whatever, and you'd go watch them play, and then you'd learn how to play them. When I was a kid, I didn't go, boy, I can't wait to play scales and learn theory. I wanted to play Van Halen. I wanted to play Yngwie Malmsteen, and I wanted to play Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. Those were the things that I got excited about that made me want to pick up the guitar in the first place. And it seems like the older I get, the more I find people are forgetting that that's a really essential element of your journey on guitar, is learning songs. At the very least, it feels good. There's a connection there that just feels good when you play music that you love. Okay? But the next level up is that those songs are providing you with visual skills, connectivity skills on your fretboard, rhythm, various techniques. There's all kinds of techniques involved in these sorts of things. And then on the third level is oftentimes those songs can provide you with creative ideas to do your own stuff, whether you're borrowing ideas from when you solo, you've got some licks that you learned from some song, or you're writing a song and you've got a chord progression that you heard that you thought was really nice, or a million other things like that. But the way I think is that every day you should be working on some sort of song element. Now, I'm not going to, take a really long time to do this. You can certainly look at some other videos that I've done too, but there are two different categories of songs that I think about. There are what I refer to as ego, E-G-O, ego songs, and project songs. Now, ego songs are songs that are relatively easy to play. You're not trying to do every single thing note for note. You're just enjoying the song and having some fun. And when you get done, you pat yourself on the back, you're feeling good, you got this song, okay? A project song, on the other hand, is a song that you really are trying to play as accurate as possible in whatever capacity, whether it's a rhythm thing or a solo thing or something like that. But project songs, let's look at it this way. If you were doing an ego song, and let's say our ego song was going to be Strumming to Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan, and then your project song is going to be a Dream Theater song, okay? There's a vast difference there. Now, here's what I find a lot with a lot of my striving students over the years, students that really want to get good at this, is that they have a tendency to always bypass the ego songs because they're too easy. So they don't really develop basic strumming skills and basic groove skills and all these other things that happen by learning all of those kind of songs, because they're always diving deep into project songs. And here's the other problem. If you're trying to learn 6 project songs and you're not technically in that realm yet, you might get through the first X amount of measures and then you get stuck because you get to some lick and go, oh my gosh, I got to practice that. And then here's what winds up happening oftentimes with project songs is we don't learn them all the way through, and that's okay. But we have to go in there and go into it knowing that a project song is really a song that's going to give us a whole new perspective on guitar playing and practice and all these different kinds of things. But most of the time, we're probably not going to succeed, obviously not near as much as we would with an ego song. So the trick is trying to find a balance between the two. Have 5 or 6 ego songs that you're working on to 1 or 2 project songs, right? And those project songs are probably going to rotate quite often because you started learning how to play, whatever song by whoever you like, and you did it for a while and then you got frustrated and you want to move on. Project songs tend to cause a lot more frustration than ego songs. And again, I think you got to find a right balance there. But the cool thing is as you get better, a lot of the things that you used to consider project songs become ego songs. And then now all of a sudden you've got new project songs, right? There's no guitar player in the world that can play everything ever by everybody. On one side you've got, X shredder, and then you've got this blues guy, and then you've got someone like Tommy Emmanuel who's just amazing on an acoustic guitar, and they're all vastly different from each other. And so our job is to figure out, well, where do we want to be in all of this stuff? And those songs can provide us with feeling good, having material that we can play with other musicians when we get together with other people, things like that. And then we've got these project songs that are providing us with new experiences and different things to really think about that get to the next category. I gotta turn my notes back on here. So content.
I'm just listening right now. I've got thoughts popping up, but I get what he's saying, and yeah, I tell students definitely, make sure you do the fun stuff, play the material that you have fun playing. But also the issue you brought up with the whole, as he put it, project song, which is usually what ends up happening for like damn near any time somebody wants to learn a song, at least how it was when I was when I used to do that with people, like figure things out for them and give them the material and all that. And it's like, yeah, there's going to be one or two parts of the song you can do just fine, and then another part where that's just kicking your butt, and then we have to end up learning the technique behind it anyway and work on breaking it down to build it up and all that stuff. So that's why now when I advertise, like, no, I don't do songs, because what I want you to do is have the blueprint so you can tackle whatever your song that you want to try, instead of always having to break it down. That's why I like to think of it like you're going to learn. I'd rather teach you 100 things so you can play. Let's just put another number. So, like, learning songs to me is like, I can teach you 100 things so you can play 100 things, or we do the fundamental stuff, and I teach you 10 things so you can play 1,000 things. So having an understanding of what's going on is kind of what I try and do with everybody. Is I always found that learning songs was such an inefficient way of learning. I understand the whole fun aspect of it, but like, and I tell students, like, look, when you come across something that you're having a difficult time playing, and you just don't know how to break it down, you don't know what to do in order to improve at it, that's when we'll talk about it. But as far as just doing nothing but songs, I don't feel like it works that well for most. Because if you understand the fundamentals behind it all, then you understand the fundamentals behind it all. So, but yeah, you should play things that you have fun playing. Because if you're not having fun when you play, what the hell's the point? Why do it then?
Content is definitely songs, but content can be all kinds of things. Content is just anything new that you can experience, new licks, new riffs, new songwriting ideas, new whatever tools that we can utilize on the fretboard. But let's start by thinking about it in terms of songs and then go from there. Because all of this stuff feeds into the second category, which is technique. Now, as we're experiencing this content as it's coming in, we're now realizing that we need more work with strengthening our left hand, our digits on our left hand, or our fretting hand if you play backwards. I shouldn't say backwards, that sounds awful. But if you play opposite, I do, right? So your fretting hand, you got to build strength in your fingers. Or you're picking, you're trying to learn how to alternate pick faster, or you're, learning how to sweep or whatever it might be. All of these various things are techniques that require us to slow down and just try and develop, right? And there's a million different things that we could do. I usually try and tell people, start with the most important ones first, and then move into everything else, right? If you're working on sweeping, which is a great technique to learn how to play, but if you're learning how to do that and you don't know how to play your open chords yet, it might not be the best time in the bigger scheme of your life to be doing that, because the most important thing here is for you to start learning how to organize your time to optimize your journey. Wherever you are right now in your journey, and you're the only one that really knows, what are the things that you feel confident with? What are the things that you don't feel confident in? And then we have all of these things out here that we want to learn how to do. That's great, we want that. But let's start rearranging all these things that we want into steps, right? If we're here and we're learning how to play whatever, chords or strumming or scales or speed picking or whatever it might be, how do we get to the next level? What is the next level, right? And by next level, I don't just mean you're getting faster or something. I just mean you're getting better as a musician, right? As a guitar player, you're getting better. So you have more opportunity to sound good when you play with other musicians, or feel better when you play in front of an audience, or have better ideas musically when you record with, you get hired to do recording with other bands or musicians or whatever it might be. There's a million things that you can do. So we can't just get this one dimension focus that the only thing you should be doing every day is speed picking. and I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying, just think about it a little bit. Technique can be your execution of your bends, or your vibrato, or your slides, right? Or your hammer-ons and pull-offs. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that go into technique. Technique certainly is the strength of your fretting hand and the speed of your picking hand, because playing slow is relatively easy, playing fast is hard. Doesn't mean we all want to play fast, but we're all against the clock. Every song we play has a tempo. Every song that we play has a subdivision of beat, right? So if you're playing at 120 beats a minute, you might still have a lick in there that's 8th notes or 16th notes or something that requires you to be able to play faster for that particular amount of time. You know, it's not just playing fast all the time, it's having the ability to do it when you need it, and then do whatever else you want from there, okay? So that's the technique category. You have content, which is songs and new experiences that are coming into you, and that tends to funnel into the technique. I'm gonna go back to content just for a second here. The other thing that's really great about songs is you can use them categorically as well. You can learn songs because you loved it ever since you were in 7th grade, and that's a great reason because it inspires you. But you can also learn songs because this song has power chords, or this song has open chords, or this song has a lot of strumming, or this song has speed picking, or this song does whatever. And now all of a sudden you're using these songs, whether they're ego or project, you're using them for a purpose that serves a bigger kind of a bigger servant to what you're trying to do with your guitar. And of course that oftentimes will move into technique and things like that. But that's a great way of looking at your songs. Your songs are serving you by offering you something that you need in your playing, and you're having a hard time picking. So you find a song that isn't ridiculous. Again, it's not a Dream Theater song necessarily that has 78 parts. Maybe it's an Iron Maiden tune that has 4 parts, right? Or whatever it might be. Again, these are choices that you need to make. All right, the next thing is a fretboard visualization in what music theory, or guitar theory we can call it. This is a broad range of things, but fretboard visualization is what can you see on your fretboard? And theory, whether it's music theory or guitar theory, or what I often refer to as real world theory, is what do we know about what we see? Can we use the information that we see in a musical context, right? So you're learning how to play the A minor pentatonic in one position. Well, now all of a sudden you're learning it across the entire fretboard. You're learning how to play an A major scale on your guitar, and now all of a sudden you're learning it across your entire fretboard.
I'm gonna cut this one. I'm cutting this one. So, I have nothing to add to this. Seems fine. I can see how this would be helpful to a lot of people, but it ain't helping the stream worth a damn. Nope. Alright. Well, we might be cutting this stream a bit short here. Our new friend over on Twitch is back because they were bored. You've never learned anyone's songs, just played your guitar every day after work for decades. How many decades? 2 decades? 3 decades? Man, that was a momentum killer right there. God damn. Well, shit. Well, there it is. All right. Here we go. We're going to check out the song, and if it's, well, yeah, let's just see. Here we go. And it's not even playing. Why?
1 year ago, I came to Davos and told you that our house is on fire. I said I wanted you to panic, panic. once.
I think we're going to end the stream on that. All right, that wasn't bad. It actually reminded me a lot about. It seems like something Buckethead would do. Just kind of a jam band thing, and then just a bunch of random ass talking on top of it. There you go. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be it for this week. Because I don't think there's enough time to do another one. I got plenty of stuff I got to do anyway. I don't know, how many videos do I need to make? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos I need to make. 3 of them just recaps. 3 of them actual lessons for people. I will keep that in mind, Mr. Tishmac Man. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you, Plastodon, Mr. Taylor, and Lord Potato. That's it. Time to end the stream and get back to the other work. We'll be on again next week, same time, and I'll try and pick some stuff we're going to do so I can advertise it better. The stream is done.